Oh my actual Jesus. Okay, I am like quaking. I am shooketh. I am literally like anxious, freaking out. Okay, so this is going to be my reaction whew, to The Family of Jake Paul, part three in the series of Inside the Mind of Jake Paul. So I just finished watching this video and I'm literally like shooketh. And okay, so I watched the first two parts of Shane's series, and if you haven't watched the first two parts of the series Inside the Mind of Jake Paul, then what are you doing watching my video? Like, send this video to the trash and head on over to Shane's channel because, okay, I have never been so excited for videos on YouTube, like, ever. Like, okay, Shane and this series has me, like, as excited as when your favorite show is only on once a week and you're, like, waiting all week long for the next episode. That's how excited I am about this series, and like me and a bunch of people at work are now like joking around and calling people sociopaths, and oh my god, but like, can you believe it is literally 1 in 25 people? So the way that I was thinking about that, I was like, that means there is one person in like your elementary school class, because like my elementary school classes were always like 25 people, so I was like, one of you is a sociopath. And so now at work, me and all my friends at work are like, let's count all the customers, like 1 in 25. How many of you? But literally at my work, I swear it's like 1 in 5 are the odds. Like, kid me not, there's lots of crazy customers at my work. But, anyways, okay, so inside the mind of Jake Paul, inside the family of Jake Paul, right off the bat, this video gives me the heebie jabibis. And the way that Shane is responding to all of the hate and everything and processing the videos before and like editing them at all, I was a little bit worried that he was going to like steer off track or like make the video a little bit watered down just so that people wouldn't be angry. But luckily he didn't do that. It was still super interesting. Okay, first, right off the bat, one of the red flags is now Jake Paul and Logan Paul are reminding me of the Menendez brothers. I think their names were Eric and Kyle. And if you've never heard of them, they were like these brothers that came from this extremely wealthy family in the United States. I think they might have lived in like Orange County or something. I don't remember. Beverly Hills, somewhere rich, and they ended up killing their family. Like, they killed their mom and dad, and then they thought that they got away with it, but now they're in jail for life. And that is what Jake Paul and Logan Paul are giving me like these eerie, creepy vibes of. But then also in the video, sorry if this video is all over the place, by the way. I'm just going to be like remembering and recalling things from the video as I make this reaction, but like, I wanted to make this reaction while I'm still shooketh and shaking and quaking from watching the actual video itself. But anyways, the other thing is the parents, because Shane like does this whole like background of like his parents, Jake's parents, Pamela and what's the dad's name? I don't remember. Paul? Paul. No, it's not Paul. But anyways, I don't remember the dad's name. But anyways, the two parents are like coaching their kids since they were like a really, really, really young age and like making them be super competitive. And then they made them do football and they bought them a camera so that they could film like them at football and then go home and rewatch it over and correct everything. And I was like, this reminds me of like the Dance Moms. If you guys are a big Dance Mom stan, like I am, and like Pamela totally reminds me of like all of the Dance Moms, especially like Dance Moms like Jill. And the fact that she's like using all of her kids for clickbait and stuff is a little bit creepy, but just because like that's her own family and stuff, and it's one thing when you're like reporting journalism and stuff about people that you don't know, but it's a whole other weird feeling, just like Shane was saying, when it's your own family members and you're literally just using your kids for fame. So that's really, really creepy. This whole series is so interesting to me because I'm somebody that has always been so interested in psychology, and I used to want to be a psychologist. That's something that I've considered going to school for. And it's always been so interesting to me, especially because I have always had anxiety. Well, not always, but like I've definitely had anxiety and panic attacks for like years and years and years and years and years. And I've had bouts of depression throughout my life. There's times where I've been depressed for like years at a time, or like bedridden from depression in my life. And so like, to me, diving in deep and learning about myself and learning how to heal myself and how to feel my best and be healthier and stuff like that and strive to be the best version of myself has always been so interesting. And I think that's what got me involved and interested in psychology. And because there's different mental illnesses that have ran in my family, so to see how people have struggled in my family and my distant family with their mental illnesses made me so curious about mental illness and getting inside the minds of like how these people are and what makes them tick. So anyways, that has always been super interesting to me. And then this entire series, because like, let's be real. How many times have you heard somebody say, oh my God, this YouTuber is a total sociopath, or like this actor or this famous singer or something? Like, it's literally a term that gets tossed around all over the place. And a lot of the time we have this feeling like, oh, celebrities and stars, they can't be real. Especially like in the days before YouTube, when you would only see people like in movies and TV and in magazines and stuff, and everybody was always perfect and they said all the right things and did the right things. And it was just creepy because you're like, I can't relate because that's not human. So anyways, that's just something that I think is natural for everybody to think, is that, oh my God, some of these stars and these celebrities must be sociopaths. And so for this entire video to be made in an entertaining way that was kind of like conspiracy theory, this entire series, I mean, has been super interesting to me. And now I'm also like watching actual psychotherapists and actual like psychiatrist channels on YouTube, and like the psychiatrist Katie that Shane brought on, I'm like watching her channel. So I guess Shane is having like a super positive influence because he's actually raising awareness for mental health and having people now, because I'm sure there's lots of people now that are watching all of these channels, and especially these YouTube channels where people were like talking about their personality disorders and stuff that Shane put into his video. I remember looking in the comment section and everybody's like, who's here because of Shane's video? So literally he's raising the bar and raising awareness for mental health on a platform that is like millions and millions and millions of people. So that's something that is cool about this series that I thought. But anyways, yeah, it kind of was giving me the heebie-jeebies the entire time. Seeing their parents and seeing inside the mind of their parents made me kind of like, also like Shane, kind of empathize and understand how they would end up how they are. But I don't know. Okay, this is something I want to say. Whew. Logan Paul, first off, saying that he is like on some kind of sociopathic scale, and then telling Shane that, yeah, go ahead and use this in the video. I am one, like really weirded out that, hey, that he would say that, but kind of two, I'm wondering if maybe he just has like a histrionic personality disorder, which is like, in a nutshell, the kind of person that needs to be the center of attention at all times. And I literally have a feeling that he might just be like saying this as another way of like garnering attention for himself, and like just making another kind of scandal, I guess, because he probably realized, oh, through all of these scandals, it doesn't matter what I do, my channel just keeps growing. And literally, I think that is the worst thing about digital media these days, is that it is teaching people that they can literally get away with doing all of this evil crap, because no matter how much people are like, oh, you're canceled, people are still watching Logan Paul, and he still has a thriving YouTube channel. So it's like, what is wrong with society? But that being said, I think that maybe he actually does believe that he is a sociopath. But I'm pretty sure that from all the videos talking about sociopaths, that people that real sociopaths wouldn't actually think that they're a sociopath or believe that they're a sociopath. So I don't know. Oh, look at cat paw. Hi, kitten. She just wanted to be in the video as always. She has histrionic personality disorder. But anyways, so that personality disorder is like this personality disorder where you need to be the center of attention, or else it's actually like uncomfortable for you. And I don't know, think of how like a little kid in a room of people will always be like, oh my God, look at me, and like putting on a show and like putting on a charade, but it's something that is like unique to little kids because you grow out of it. Somebody that has histrionic personality disorder would like be like that all the time. And as I was watching the video of Shane's video about the Pauls, I was noticing that like Logan, for example, smashing a plate on the floor while they're vlogging. Like he literally is in somebody else's vlog, but like needs to be the center of attention at all times. Or like when his mom is vlogging, he like pops in and like insults her and like says some nasty stuff. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know which is a result of which. Like maybe Logan Paul is like some mastermind psychopath and the mom went crazy and Jake Paul went crazy because of having to raise like this psychopath in their family. Or maybe the mom is like some crazy sociopath and then because of having children and not caring about the children and not having any empathy or love for the children ended up acting out and doing all of these crazy things to try and like garner attention or some kind of validation or something for themselves. Or like, who knows? I don't know. But this entire series to me has been so fascinating, and those were the things that I wanted to comment on. Is for one, Logan Paul said he is like on some kind of sociopath scale, and that just blew my mind. Two, the fact that he said to Shane directly, you can go ahead and use this in your video, blew my mind. Three, he made an actual video himself on his channel saying that he is like some kind of sociopath, and I'm like, okay. So my question is, does that mean he actually is a sociopath, or is this just like all some kind of scandal? Because everybody's saying that sociopaths don't actually admit that they're sociopaths. So I honestly think he's just looking for more attention and looking for another scandal. But at the same time, are people going to continue watching him? Because I guess this whole Shane video was saying that sociopaths aren't necessarily like bad people or like bad at all, but I'm like, are people still going to continue watching somebody that is like, yes, I am a sociopath and I am intentionally trying to manipulate you? The problem that I'm seeing is I think that people are still going to freaking watch his channel because now they're going to be like, ooh, this is so interesting. They may not support him or like him, but he sees it as like, oh, my channel's going to keep growing. And because people are still going to be interested because they're like, oh, wow, now I can see inside the mind of a real sociopath, I think people are going to continue watching his channel. And I just think that's kind of a dangerous thing about digital media because we are now kind of dangerously entering this territory of knowing that this guy is completely batshit crazy, but we are still going to give him all of these views and let his platform grow to a dangerous level of influence just because we as humans are curious. So that's kind of what I got out of this series. I guess that's more about Logan than anything, but yeah, I don't know how I feel about the dad. I didn't really get much from the dad out of this video to the point that I don't even remember his name. I think that the mom just reminds me of like a typical stage mom, or just like Shane said, maybe she's excited that she's finally having her own moment and her own thing, and so she just wants to make it all about her kids. And I guess it's natural for a mom to be like all loving towards her kids and want the energy to be, and the energy and like the spotlight to be on the kids. So I guess that's kind of natural. But I don't know. I don't want to be like devil's advocate about this entire thing and be like, oh, I empathize. There's nothing wrong with any of them. They're just victims of their situation, because I don't know. I don't know them personally. They're not really affecting me personally other than being like entertainment. Like, this is super interesting. It's kind of like a case study for people that are interested in psychology and in looking inside the human mind. And yeah, I am super excited for the next part, but I'm most excited to see like the video when Shane actually meets Jake Paul, because I don't know. Anyways, this entire series has been fascinating to me. It's the most exciting thing that I've watched on YouTube in a while. And I am excited to see how it all unfolds. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. This is not really the kind of normal content that I post on my channel, but I might do some responses to the rest of this series just because, like I said, this has been so fascinating to me, and Shane is obviously My fave, we stand. And as always, make sure to be weird, be wild, and stay sparkly. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.